My name is Ellen Kennett, and it is a privilege to speak to you today. It is difficult for me to believe that it is 40 years since Come Share opened its doors. I shall cast my memory back a long way and do my best to tell the story of how Come Share came to be. It is more than 40 years since 6 of us met to discuss the need for a center where seniors could go to socialize and receive help with their problems. This, of course, is still very relevant today. Joyce Kennett, a nurse, her mother Ida Miller, Reverend Howard Filsinger from First United Church, Muriel Brody, a public health nurse, and Joyce Palmer and myself met at the health center on Center Street in White Rock. I am the only one still alive, so I have no one to share my memories with. We held a number of meetings to create a proposal to receive funding. We made an application to New Horizons, a federal department. New Horizons also gave funding to condo strata councils to furnish their social rooms. I recall replying each year for this grant, and I can visually see the person who was in charge of it, but of course I cannot remember her name. Eventually, we had enough money to begin. Our first home was at Mount Olive Lutheran Church, which was then on Roper Street in White Rock. We had a very limited staff. Georgina Servo and 2 others. They drove around in their cars to pick up the clients. The clients were entertained and given a hot lunch. There was no criteria in those early days, so the clients didn't have any serious medical conditions. Loneliness was the predominant issue. Our second home, for a short time, was the Legion on Johnson Road. We had received a grant for 1 year. Now we needed to find a new location and a new staff. We did get additional funding for 6 months. Then the money ended. We appealed to the local health authority and received ongoing funding. Criteria was now required. Clients were interviewed to make sure they met the criteria to ensure Come Share would receive the operating funding. Joyce Kennett became the Director of Care at the Evergreen Baptist Home. She received permission for Come Share to use the basement, where we remained until the new building here on 26th Avenue was opened. We worked very hard to promote Come Share, hoping people in our community would become involved. We held an annual open house tea, but it was an uphill battle. The same people would arrive each year, usually those who had a family member attending Come Share. What a landmark day it was when our new facility was officially opened on January 28th, 1999. 4 of the 6 people who were at that very first meeting more than 40 years ago served on the first board of directors. Over the past 40 years, many citizens have given freely of their time to serve as board members. I only served for 10 years, but my husband Howard Kennett served for 30 years, many as the chairman. Howard is now 90 and I am 87. We have lived here for 65 years and remember when there wasn't a hospital nor any special community care for seniors. It is comforting to know that Come Share is available for us if we need help in the future, and I'm sure we probably will. Come Share's success is due to the long-time exceptional leadership of Sue McIntosh, Executive Director, the professional dedicated board, the excellent caring staff, and the many faithful, supportive volunteers. I am so pleased our community has become more aware and supportive of Come Share, but help is always needed. Fraser Health provides the operating dollars, capital expenses, and the operating of community support programs require grants. Grants usually last only for 1 year. Come Share is always seeking community partners to ensure that these programs remain in place. I encourage you to provide a grant or a donation if you are able to do so. It is quite remarkable for me to recall the beginning more than 40 years ago and to see how Come Share has progressed to become such a successful organization. I thank you very much for listening to my story today. Is that all right? This thing's